So one of the most time-consuming parts about preparing your music as a DJ is setting your cue points where you need them to be so they're ready to be played when you need them. Now, DJ Cee B just released a YouTube video showing how he was able to come up with a way to automate setting your cue points. I'll go ahead and leave that video link down in the description below, and it's a great watch. But there's one issue with this, that you need to be able to run Apple scripts, so your PC users, you might be out of luck. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to show you guys how I'm able to speed through setting up all of my cue points. Now, while my system isn't automated, it's still pretty fast, and it works for both Mac and Windows. So let's get into it. And here we have Serato opened up, and this is the window you see when you're not plugged into any hardware. I like to call this a prepare window. This is where you end up setting all your cue points usually and throwing your songs into crates. So let me go through these new 25 songs that I've added to my library and show you how quick you can add cue points using this system. Then once I go through it, I'll show you exactly what I did to get this done. So here we go. Oh, slowing down. And this isn't sped up at all. All right, and that's it. So that wasn't sped up at all. Like I mentioned, this is literally how fast it can be. And I wasn't really trying to go fast at all to set up your cue points that quickly. And I'm doing this using tools that are in Serato DJ and just, regular keyboard shortcuts. So the secret to doing all of this is actually using a combination of the 1, 2, 3 keyboard shortcuts on your keyboard to set cue point 1, 2, and 3, and then using beat jump, a feature that's in Serato DJ, to go ahead and kind of just jump to the right parts of the track. So I usually set these 3 cue points. Oh, I actually got this one wrong. So I was going a little too fast there. Okay. So the first step to make this possible is to make sure that you have your beat jump controls showing and available in Serato DJ. So let's go into the preferences by clicking the cog. And then right here under DJ preferences, this option right here, we want to make sure this is selected. So let me show you what it looks like with no beat jump controls. And this is how Serato DJ looks stock and without having changed anything. So you'll see right here, under the looping controls, most DJs are used to this where you see these 8 buttons to select your 8 different loop values. But if you go in, select show beat jump controls, you'll see that this bottom row actually is replaced with your beat jump control. So here you can select the amount of beats that you want to jump. So I like having it set to 16 because that makes sense for me in the way I DJ, and it especially makes sense for this system. And you still have all of your looping controls right here. So you can still select all of the loop values that you're used to seeing. The main reason that 16 beats or 4 bars works so well in this system is that all of the songs that I added to my library right now are intro versions of songs. So it's 8 bars long. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. So we can set 3 cue points. One at the very beginning, at the beginning of the track, one halfway through the intro, which is after 4 bars, and then one at 8 bars after that first beat, which is when the verse or the hook comes in, when the vocals come in. So again, we can go through it real quick. So here's the beginning, halfway through, and then right when the vocals come in. Why your face so... Right? So again, let me show you. If I had no cue point set, I would just go to the beginning of the track right here, set 1 cue point, jump ahead using beat jump, set a 2nd cue point, then jump ahead, and then set a 3rd cue point. Notice I don't have to move my mouse anywhere. It can just stay on that little forward arrow or beat jump forward arrow, and all I'm doing is clicking. So I'm hitting the 1 key, then clicking the mouse to move up 4 bars, then hitting the 2 key, then hitting the mouse one more time, and then hitting the 3 key, and then we're done. So you can really speed through setting up all your cue points using this method. Now, while this may not work for songs that have just like a regular release of the song that doesn't have an intro, this also works really well for EDM or dance music because it follows the same basic structure of every 4 bars, something changes. So you can jump ahead and set the cue point where you want, and then just kind of have your cue points set that way, and it works pretty much just as fast. So that's my method of how I set up cue points super quickly inside Serato DJ. Now again, this doesn't need any extra software, any extra scripts, and works on both Mac and PC, which is great. So go ahead and give it a try. I'm sure this will help speed up your process a lot. So for the question of the day, do you guys use intro versions of tracks in your library? Go ahead and leave that down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And as always, if you enjoyed this video and found it useful, be sure to give it a like. And if you're interested in more tips and tricks videos just like this one, go ahead and click on that video right there. And be sure to subscribe clicking that right there. See you guys in the next one.